Here they are, fresh on the presses. This is historic, big time stuff. Thank you to Tim Martin, up there, who's done all this work, who got it first. So this is the first time since Fukushima they're out of Fukushima denial. These are the, as you know, the Columbia River numbers. That number in 2016 was 1,337,000 in 2015. Okay, now remember that number. They go to sea for 5 years. These are Chinook. These are spring Chinook, summer Chinook. These are Chinook. So they've come out of denial. So they set their projection in 2017. Well, in 2016, again, they go to sea for 5 years. They had 1,337,000. This is the first batch back in 2010 before Fukushima. This is the smoking gun. So 2017, they've set the projections at 1.7 million. I set mine at 480,000. They came in at 480,000. 2018, they set their projections at 2.3 million. I set my projection at 333,000. They came in at 338,000. I'm right on the number for third straight year. This year, they set their projections at 690,000. I set my projections at 220,000, but then they emergency closed all gill netting. So that changes projections, because that'll double. As they say, they'll catch 50. The gill nets take out 50. They closed all gill netting. They came in at 330,000, so you can cut half of that. They came at 190. Their projection was 960. So I was dead on again. I mean, exactly, because their matrix and they put so many different components into this. Their boys that are out there, their numbers were dead on for years until Fukushima. I plugged in Fukushima, they did not. So let's get this 2020. This is it. It's over. I can tell you it's over. For them to come out with these numbers, so 40,000 projected adult return CRs, 20 wild on the Willamette, but here's the big number. The upper spring, now this is the Bonneville. They all have to go through the Bonneville. 81,700. So 43% of recent 10-year average, and that's the recent average, which is horrific because we've incorporated 4 years in a row of nightmare numbers post Fukushima. So the upper Columbia summer Chinook, 38,000. We can add together, right? So we're about 120,000 for the fucking 120,000 for the year when they had 1,300,000. And this is by number, by the way. So this is it. This is, thank you again, Tim Martin. He's all over this thing. The salmon guide, lifetime native salmon guide. So I'll just post it. You can go through seasons, TBA, 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 of course. And so they did not release any stillhead numbers. Now the stillhead salmon numbers this year. Now why is the Columbia so? Because all these rivers go into the Columbia River, so they have to, which is the old, I remember when they were going to name the Chief Joseph. So they have to go through the 2.5 mile wide, the massive beast. All these tributaries come there, so we count them all. Remember, the live count's been down. This is, it's a giant story. So the stillhead number this year for the year was 77 for the year. They go to see, their life cycle is 1 to 2 years. In 2010, there were 400 and right around 500,000. They're down to 77. Remember Bill Monroe and OD.WA? Everybody was grandstanding all over there. 1 million coho. You know how many coho they had? Their million? 72,000. The ocean's dying. Then you wonder why the whales are starving to death. But no, the University of Washington gets a grant. Kevin Blanche doesn't get anything. The University of Washington gets a grant to study why the big Chinook are going. And I should show you that picture. That's Tim Martin catching a 40-pounder in 2008. Now, one with the little girl is his niece, or his daughter. And that's a 38-pounder caught in 2010. So, I talked to her. Is it okay if I put this up? Yeah, she says, yeah, I'm a grown woman now. I was 10 years old then. I'm 19. Yeah. So that's a 38-pounder he caught right there in Oregon in 2010 before Fukushima. So they're coming in skinny, they're coming sucked up, they got white. We've got the video with the interview with the Klamath Falls chief. He says they're full of tumors, they're skinny. We got pictures of white meat in them, stripes, we got little sores all over in them, boots on the ground. We have video content of the teabagger insane Congress's answer to all this? Shoot the sea lions. The teabaggers of 2010 to 2018, last crown jewel, look it up, was to pass a law to shoot sea lions because they eat salmon. That's the problem. We have video of them shooting the sea lions. You know, now they want to shoot the whale. I mean, the orcas are already starving to death, and they're saying, well, they're the problem. I mean, they're fucking insane. You know, Trump, the greatest terrorist the environmentalist there ever was, yeah. Well, fuck, he's a sick fucker, but who was the greatest? Obama. He covered up Fukushima, but Trump's passed him. So here we go. So they're out. These are brand new, fresh off the presses. They finally have not set. These are, and you know they've been 75, 80% high. All of them. I mean, their projections haven't even been close. They've been ridiculous. Mine have been dead on. Kevin Blanch's the greatest PhD probably in human history. Oh, we don't count dead typos? Oh, I do. Walk in critical condition doing it while I'm attacked by my own government. We don't count dead humans in bone marrow transplant centers. Oh, I do. I was one of them, Hippolytes. We count all the salmon. We count every fucking one of them because they live in the Pacific Ocean and they come home. Well, they don't come home. They live in the ocean. They come into the rivers they're born there and they die there. That's it. But we use sonar and we count them all. You know, of course, if you can believe their numbers. So here it is. I'll post it. You can go through them. Catastrophic numbers, devastating. This is the greatest ecological collapse in human. Oh, it's just the blob. What do you think caused a blob? Because Fukushima, it's hot at 3 suns burning into the earth. It broke the krill. Kevin Blanch's hypothesis the day it happened. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. These are multiple meltdowns. They're going to push the energy in the Pacific Ocean. We don't even know what it is. I named Fuktonium. It's going to freaking break the chain. It's going to break the krill. It's going to break the, and then our anchovies, sardines will go, the Chinook salmon will go, the whales go. It's an eco chain. It's going to bust the whole thing. It's going to create an energy. It's going to create a heat bubble over the western United States. It's going to make the Great Salt Lake go dry. The Great Salt Lake was at historic normal levels in 2011, 2012. My spiral jetty videos prove it. Remember, I was in critical condition when I did all this work. Oh, the tide pool's just acutely collapsed in 2012. I mean, dead, you know, and we've just gone along with this. Not to mention it'll create a toxin and a heat source that's going to mix in with Roundup and everything, the tankers, whatever, and I named it Fuktonium, and it's actually going to ignite. It's going to cause forest fires. It's going to cause the trees to die. I hypothesized all this. These fires, when you have the atmosphere actually catches fire. Well, when we dump it in there. So, there it is. The greatest PhD in human history. And why I've done it? Attacked by my own government while in critical condition. What do you think about this? I've done all this work. Given 2 months to live. I was given 2 months to live. I did all the tide pool work. I've done all this historic work for free. You know, the people that have supported this historic work, thank you so much. So historic, you know. Attacked by my own government. Hired trolls to fucking slander me, go after me, attack me. My aortic valve failed with a failed aortic valve. My teeth went. My freaking gallbladder ruptured. You know, AML, de novo leukemia, which is a non-survivor without a bone marrow transplant, with no money, no public assistance. Thank you, everybody supported. This is the greatest PhD in human history. And sadly, I was right every word I said from day one. The Great Pacific Genocide, I called it. And it's moved across the globe now. It's an energy. How are you going to test it? You know what the fuck it is. It's never happened before. It took me a year and a half to convince anybody it was one meltdown. And let me tell you, a nuclear meltdown, I'll tell you how hot it is and boiling the Earth's water. Boiling, I'll tell you how hot it is. TEPCO, GE, the whole dog and pony show over there. Last robot they put in there to try to find where these cores are, which are in the ocean. It's nuclear fission. It's a plasma. It's a gas. Fuktonium. Last one, from what I hear, could stand up to 70,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it melted. That's how hot this is. It's the hottest substance. It's the sun. I mean, that's Livermore's on it. Bringing star power to Earth. Well, the sun can give you cancer from 93 million Ys. This one's 65, and got news. Jet stream moves 11. Ocean currents. Remember that bridge that landed on the Gold Coast in 7 days? Swims. I mean, they live in the Pacific Ocean. We killed them. It's the biggest story in human history. Don't you think that'd be a big story? Trump, Obama, the two greatest terrorists who ever lived. The Fukushima cover-up and their owner, Abe, the emperor. Wow, who would have believed it? Who would have believed it? These are Lowest projections in 100-year history by many, many times. So they're freaking out. 43% of the 10-year average, which is the recent 10-year, which has collapsed. The 10-year average is so low right now because of the last 4 years. And if they say 43, you can figure 20. Nightmare. Game over. They did it. Oh, it's the ecology, stupid. Greatest event in human history. The Fukushima meltdowns. The greatest crimes in human history. The cover-up and the attacks of Kevin Blanch for trying to do all this work. I had it right every word, and everybody laughed at me, went at me, well, just like they did Semmelweis. Anybody who ever came up with something new, plutonium, californium, freaking germ theory, atom theory, they always laughed at him. They jailed him. They put Semmelweis in a prison, tried to kill him. Hired trolls to attack me, which are felonies. Went after me, lost my teeth over it, lost my aortic valve over it. I lost everything over this. All my money, I lost everything. That's a great scientist. That is the historic playbook. And I did it anyway. Stay tuned. I want to stop this at the perfect 12. I don't want to stop this at 11. My new number's 12 because that's the year I was supposed to die walking the coast. So, again, all these tributaries run into the mighty Columbia River, that greatest, biggest drainage on Earth, 2.5 mile long, and the sonar across that. And by the way, the Army Corps engineers who classified me, that's another thing that I need to talk about. They classified me. There's videos to prove it. They admitted they classified me. Who classified? The Trump administration, the Obama administration, excuse me. They classified Kevin Blanch while he's in critical condition, just a guy, just a research PhD, you know. An activist, a human, just a concerned citizen, fighting for my grandchildren's lives, fighting for the ecology, fighting to save you from use, save the planet. Why? I still don't want to say that. Why is that so bad? Apparently it was. It cost me everything. Cost me everything. Stay tuned.